Hey there, I'm Chris Tolles, CEO of Topix, and I'm here today with Ted Cardenas. We're here at the SEMA Auto Show, and Ted's the Vice President of Marketing for Pioneer, and we're at a hackathon that they're sponsoring. So Ted, tell us a little bit about what's going on today.
So, thank you, Chris, and glad you could join us. We're here at Pioneer's first App Radio Hackathon event, and I think, as you know, hackathons are nothing new. But what is very new about Pioneer's App Radio Hackathon is it's really the first event that's specifically being thrown to support app development for the automotive space. And our product is unique a little bit because it allows virtually any consumer to take their smartphone and connect it to the vehicle they already have.
So what does it take to actually participate in this developer environment, as well as for this hackathon in particular?
You know, we actually opened it up to any developers who wanted to come and attend. It's really about, as you know, hackathons are about educating the developers about the platform that exists.
Yeah.
And what we wanted to do is really bring that into the SEMA show environment, where we now have access to literally thousands of aftermarket car companies that have all kinds of really cool products, really cool services, really cool technologies that could feed into those apps, which consumers would want to have in their cars.
So how long has this been in development? I mean, an SDK for your car is something people used to joke about, and now it's real. So tell us about, like, when did this start to happen, and what's the time frame? Because I know your SDK is coming out like now, basically.
Actually, you know, our product is actually the App Radio. That's why we're calling it the App Radio Hackathon. Okay. We launched that product about 15 months ago. We've actually had a couple of generations, and we now have 10 products in the market that support doing app content from a connected smartphone onto a touchscreen that's mounted in the dash of your vehicle, right where your radio location is today. We have an SDK out for it already. So we're working with the app developers and really educating the app developer community how easy it is to take either an existing app that they have, add in our APIs so that they can now control it from the dash of the vehicle safely and intuitively, or create completely new content, new apps, like we're really asking the developing community to do here today.
So one of the things that's always a little bit of a challenge is standardization, and one of the things is, like, if you're going to be a developer, we do app development at Topix, but it can be challenging when you're trying to figure out how to do this for Pioneer or for Sony or for whoever. Are there emerging standards in this, or is this really the Wild West right now in terms of just getting started? I mean, how do you see that?
Well, it certainly is, and you're absolutely right. It's kind of the Wild West in the aftermarket space. There are some standards that are starting to be created. Pioneer, with our app radio, we feel that it is one of the potential standard candidates.
Okay.
You know, if other manufacturers wanted to develop app radio type interfaces, we would certainly be open to that conversation.
So right, so they could approach you, and you would be an appropriate person. So if someone came in and saw this and said, "Wait a minute, we should be doing something like this," they should talk to you.
Certainly.
Cool.
But you know, the key component for us really is, as we know, there are so many of the auto manufacturers, the OEMs that are selling brand new vehicles that have a connected car.
Right.
The significant for us as Pioneer, as an aftermarket company, is we are creating a product that can be installed in virtually any vehicle, including the product you already own. So for a consumer who already has made the investment in a smartphone, so they already own this device, they love it, they love all the app content that's on it, they want to use some of those apps that would be relevant in the automotive space in their car. Now, instead of having to go out and buy a $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 new car to be able to connect this device, they can simply make an investment in a Pioneer app radio, connect their smartphone to their car, and they can do that for well under $1,000, including installation and tax and everything like that.
Right. So what would come out of this hackathon, coming back to the specifics here, what would be the kind of thing that you'd like to see coming out of this today or this next couple of days?
So, you know, the big payoff for us is really threefold. We want to do three things from the App Radio Hackathon here at the SEMA show. The first is app developer education and awareness. So many of these app developers and apps that are created are automotive relevant content, whether it's, you know, looking around your location to find a restaurant or looking around your location to find different services. But so few of those app developers really understand that there are possibilities to put that content on the dash of the vehicle as opposed to the driver simply holding the smartphone.
Right. Okay.
The second thing is really and this is really a big and important part of why we're doing it here at the SEMA show, is, as you know, we are surrounded by thousands of aftermarket companies that are making really cool products.
Yeah, this, by the way, you can't see it here, but there are 5 floors of thousands of companies doing things, and it's fascinating that Pioneer's
it all bolts onto a car, and it's everything from wheels and tires, but even more things that do like interfaces that tell you, when your car needs an oil change, or tell you the external temperature, or things that we kind of have come to expect on a new vehicle. But again, going back to the ability to update an older vehicle, so you don't have to make an investment. We're here to introduce all of those companies to app developers, because so many of them may have thought, oh gosh, it would be great to have a smartphone app, but I just don't know who to talk to.
It seemed that that when I looked through the packet of materials, that some of the folks that are vendors of yours or partners of yours had came up with almost like an RFP saying, here are some apps we'd like people to take a look at building. Is there anyone in particular you'd like to highlight, or anything that you saw was interesting as a theme there?
Well, and then the third, thank you, is really that we want to kind of spur the ideas a little bit. We simply don't want to say, oh, it's automotive content, and we do want it to be relevant to the automotive space. The common question we get about the app radio is, oh, well, can I play Angry Birds in the car?
Right.
Obviously, you can't play games while you drive. You don't want to watch TV while you drive, but there are a lot of other things that we can kind of push in certain directions. So we have 3 different categories, and really the provider is it's not up to us. It's really the developer who can reach out and define how they want to approach this. The first is voice-activated social networking. Everybody knows, we've all seen people who are Facebooking or tweeting in the car, which we know that's not safe to do while you drive, right?
Probably illegal in many states.
Very simple.
Right?
It's illegal in
Exactly,
most states. So we want to push the development community to start thinking outside the box of how they can make an interface that does that social networking aspect, but does it via voice activation so that it is safe to do while you drive the vehicle. The second is location-based services, and again, we all know that there are many different apps that will find a restaurant around you, they'll find a coffee shop around you, they'll do little aspects of searching your environment, your geographic environment. We want to take that and push it into the car. So now, let's say it's finding the gas station, or finding an oil change, or finding a car wash. We want apps that are built that are locationally aware, and can provide the driver with really relevant and significant content that would be good to use. And then the third, and again, speaking to the thousands of companies out there, is really what we call the SEMA app, or SEMA member app category. And so we want the developers literally to go out and walk those 5 stories of companies that you talked about, and search out these member companies about great ideas of how they can integrate their technology or their service into a smartphone app.
So, this is like a common theme coming out of Silicon Valley: software is eating the world. And I guess one of the things that I found in a pre-software world that I liked was there was, and this is a great place for it, there's a lot of just really great engineering in the real world. There's there's a lot of machined aluminum and cool stuff, and it's the kind of thing that, what are the any places where you can see that aftermarket, that coolness come into this? As opposed to there's finding a restaurant, there's some stuff that's pretty block and tackle. Is there any specific thing here you go, it'd be really cool is this, something that's just out of the box?
I think there's that is another really great part about us doing it here at the SEMA show. SEMA has a connected car space, and their themes are, drive cool, drive eco or drive green, drive connected, and drive safe. What's great about making a smartphone app and using a connected device is we now have the ability to wrap all 4 of those elements into one thing. When you're making a hard physical product, you're kind of choosing, okay, is it going to be a green emphasized product? Is it going to be a cool product? Is it going to be a connected product, or is it going to be a safe product? With a smartphone app, you could theoretically make an app that showed how efficiently you're driving, how it's connected to the internet to analyze kind of your location and find maybe other green friendly things or other cool things to do, and it's just a great time, a great opportunity for hardware manufacturers like Pioneer, for aftermarket automotive companies who make these really cool parts, and then the app developers. It's just such a great opportunity right now that we have to really deliver the content and the services that consumers want in their device and in their car.
Yeah, it's been fascinating to me today watching through this stuff. Everything from the Xbox, the driving game, to Pioneer with all their aftermarket pieces, to having Sarah Austin come here and talk about technology. I think Bill Joy once said that all the smart people in the world don't work for you. That's a key thing to keep in mind, and it's really great to see Pioneer here basically giving people a chance to kind of build things out from a baseline. So again, I think this is great. Thank you very much for talking today, and you guys should come check this out, and hopefully the results of this will be in a car near you coming soon.
Absolutely. Thanks, Chris. And for anybody who's watching and following along, you can follow us at pioneerhackathon.com, and we're posting all the results and daily video updates on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Pioneer North America.
Cool. And I'm Chris Tolles, CEO of Topix, at Tolles, Tolles on Twitter. Thanks a lot, and have a good SEMA, guys.